We've done it, Marina! We've done it! We broke into Jamie Anderson's house, and we... Did you have to throw such a big brick through his window, by the way? He's not going to be happy about that. You did. Oh, okay, well, yeah, we got what we came for. And it's this. The master copy of GFI. Never ever seen by the wider Anderson community. It's supposed to be absolutely terrible. And today, on the 1st of April 2019, you and I are going to be the first people, aside from him and his dad and the people who made it, to see it. Well, I'm going to be the first. You're going to keep flying the eagle, if that's okay. No, if it's really that bad, you can watch it afterwards. Anyway, I'm going to go into the passenger module. I will connect it to a screen there, and we will see just how terrible GFI really is. Right, I'll just use the old Sonic to connect the tape to the randomizer's visual output, and that should do it. Okay, right, here we go. GFI. What the hell's this?
Atomic explosion.
I thought this was a cartoon. These are models. And rather badly operated models at that. What's... Oh no.
Introducing Paul Starr.
Oh no.
Wherever there's danger, you'll find the men of the Space Bureau of Investigation.
Anderson, you tricked me. Oh well, I'll watch this crap anyway. Yes, this is This is Paul Starr, as you may have heard from the slightly familiar opening titles theme, which sounds a lot like Supercar crossed with Stingray, doesn't it?
There is enough.
Yes, Paul Starr, not a Jerry Anderson production. This is a pilot produced by Roberta Leigh in, I don't know when this was, the mid-60s, because Roberta Leigh probably best known for creating Space Patrol, a rival to Fireball XL5, and a reasonably popular one actually. She also originated the ideas for The Adventures of Twizzle and Torchy the Battery Boy, so she is essentially the woman who sort of got Anderson's puppetry-related career started. And having done that, she then seemed to be in competition with him for the next best part of the decade. After she produced Space Patrol, which was a reasonably good success.
Come in, come in.
She then tried this,
Of Mars comes to visit.
which is a full-colour pilot that I was never picked up for a series.
Most generous of
About a space ranger called Paul, or not space ranger. He's a special agent. Let's say special agent, operating from an undersea base.
who do you think is behind it?
General Darrinx. He threatens to destroy every...
And I'm playing Paul Starr today because I think it's important to
We don't know.
look kind of at what was essentially Anderson's competition at the time, or would-be competition, to see what they were trying to do to match what he was doing. And
The Space Bureau of Investigation.
this robot just demonstrates the extent to which this pilot does not work. This robot is essentially
Robots on the electronic computer system.
Robbie the robot from Forbidden Planet crossed with a Dalek, to the extent that it has a Dalek suction arm and a Dalek little stubby gun. This is a fine example of what Roberta Leigh didn't understand.
Paul Starr and crew.
She was undoubtedly a very talented lady, but when it came to judging what was popular and what was successful and why it was a success, she seemed to struggle with that, to the extent that we have now these knockoff Daleks because Daleks are popular, but we're not going to make them enough of our own thing. We're just going to kind of do the same and hope that the same success kind of spills over onto us. Equally, we have now a launch sequence for whatever this ship that Paul Starr flies is.
Bay lift to flight deck.
Everything looks so amateurish, and it's really not. It just looks so basic and clunky compared to what Anderson was doing at the time. The closest comparison you can make between Paul Starr and an Anderson show, I think, is Stingray.
Our solar scope's ready.
But also, as you may have heard there, the star of the show, the voice of Paul Starr himself, is none other than Ed Bishop. And as much as I love Ed Bishop, he couldn't give a damn about this. There's none of that energy, there's none of that drama in his voice at all. And I think a lot of it is because he's just given such perfunctory dialogue to say. So anyway, Paul Starr is launching from his undersea base, which looks terrible. And like I said, it's not bad if it weren't for the fact that we didn't have Stingray. But we did have Stingray, and this is just a pale imitation.
Sounds like a tough assignment.
That's why they sent for the SBI. Now get going. Fast.
You heard the orders, Lightning. Change to solar energy.
Because we have that. Yeah, this is Paul Starr and his buddy Lightning are being sent to Mars to investigate a series of fires at nuclear power stations. And oh dear, there's no weight to any of these vehicles. There's no precision in the landing. Oh god, this power station looks terrible. And every room in the base, you see the sign on the door, because it's easier to just show that rather than to sort of be clever, be inventive in the writing and convey it that way.
How many men work here?
Only 10. We're fully automated.
And one of
Except for those 10.
where does that door lead?
To the roof.
I'll go up and look around.
Maybe jump off if this gets any worse.
This place looks comfortable. What's that?
There is literally a bed
That birds
and a chair.
Well, no one could hide here.
Yes, they could. It's a massive open space with lots of room to hide, actually. Anyway, Paul Starr's Japanese co-pilot Lightning has crept up onto the top of a tower. I have to tell you that he's Japanese because he's very humble. He won't mention it himself in the dialogue.
It's left its egg. It must have been afraid because I was watching.
And I am quite scary.
With only 10 men to watch, it shouldn't be difficult to find the one we want. What's that?
Yeah, Paul Starr does not seem particularly on the ball when it comes to assignments or anything.
What's in your hand? Come on, show me.
And this is another good example of this show.
Radio.
That's the crackle you...
It goes.
Why were you hiding it?
It does a lot of very odd moments where characters can see what each other are holding and they still ask what they're holding.
What's that egg?
It's an egg. See, that's a perfect example. These characters are...
Your face is enough to scare anyone.
Oh, well, screw you.
I wonder if a robot could cause a fire.
Let's find out.
Yes, sir.
Would you like some matches? These characters are
Floor.
I'll take a look there.
thoroughly unlikable, and I think part of the reason is the puppets have these what look like rubber faces. The mouths are animated quite well, but the eyes don't move,
For some cotton wool.
and that's rather unnerving when you're so used to the Jerry Anderson stuff where the puppet's eyes, moving the puppet's eyes was that as far back as Torchy they were moving the puppet's eyes? So this is further Uncanny Valley stuff. But anyway, the pilling egg that Lightning gathered has just exploded in their room.
Do you think I'm a traitor?
It's my job to suspect everyone.
So far, Paul Starr is just wandering into rooms, pointing his gun at people who apparently just work at the base and are doing their jobs, and, yeah, isn't getting very far. He's accusing a lot of people, but he's not making any headway with his investigations. Meanwhile, his comrade lies dying.
I can smell smoke.
Maybe I should investigate.
Oh,
Emergency.
Again, more familiar sound effects. Lifted from the Anderson shows. We know that noise so well. And again, it's part of making this show look as Anderson-y as possible, but it's not there.
Yes, and so's Lightning.
We'll soon have this under control.
I mean, it only took us half an hour to find him, but, you know, now that we know, I'm sure we'll sort this out very quickly.
I was as unconscious as my ancestors.
It sounds as if it was an explosion.
He's Japanese, in case you didn't know.
Forget the egg. Our problem is to tell Chief what's happened.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, forget the reason for the explosion.
That's
Just
the understatement of the year.
report that it happened. Oh gosh, this underwater base. This is dreadful.
What's the matter with Starr? Lightning nearly got
Oh, his chief's eyes are moving.
and they still don't know what caused it.
Only a little, but they are moving.
Dr. Mann has arrived.
Send him in while I talk to the president.
Oh, Dr. Mann. This could be some comedy gold coming up here.
I'm your new assistant.
My what? I won't have a woman down here.
So you're stuck with me for the next 4 months.
You will resign long before then.
Care to bet on it?
I don't gamble on certainties.
Oh dear. Well, there we go. The chief has a new woman assistant. I don't know why he thinks she'll be resigning within 4 months or whatever the hell the deadline was that he gave her. But you see, she's a woman, and her name's Dr. Mann. Oh god, this is sexist hell.
I am determined to hatch it into honorable bird. Where
Because I am Japanese, you see. I have no character, just nationality.
If this is a real egg, I'm a pilling.
What's wrong?
I want to get rid of this. Open the window.
Yeah, suspected bomb.
Break the glass.
Just chuck it out the window of a power station. It doesn't matter where it lands. Oh! You've blown
What
up
caused that first explosion?
what looked like a fuel storage tank. Good on ya, Starr! Yeah, so Starr and Lightning have become convinced that these birds are laying egg bombs,
only one pilling is making for the roof.
or one particular pilling.
Must be the phony bird.
You're right. This bird is mechanical.
Hey, Starr, do you want to jump in and help Lightning? He's struggling with that bird.
Quick!
And,
I can't keep it down much longer.
oh, you're just going to clear off. Okay.
I'll call the Martian tracking station right away.
And make it fast. Lightning can't hold that bird down much longer.
And I'm sure as hell not going to help him.
Star's orders.
Yeah, the chief and the leader of the baddies, was it General Dallinks or something? Their face is like
Martian tracking station.
30 or 40%
Martian tracking station receiving you.
chins. They've got, the baddie has like 3 chins. They're very unattractive puppets, these.
I can't hold on much longer.
Poor Lightning just being left to deal with this robot bird all by himself. While Starr is just sat on the bed, chatting to whoever he can call up on the video screen.
This waiting's making me nervous. Lightning.
Where did you come from?
Happened?
Nothing. Just stay awake and do some worrying with me.
We've tracked the bird.
Hang on, Lightning's done more than you. He's been blown up. You're just blundering around telling people off for no reason.
So, Chief's been landed with a woman.
'Cause he's a woman.
This is Dr. Leslie Mann. Are you receiving me?
And how?
Oh,
The little bird is making for
I mean, the
Zone 3.
the Super Marination shows could be sexist. I mean, sometimes the outfits on, say, UFO, you could say that's kind of sexist, but you would always see the women in
You called.
positions of authority, and even if they weren't playing huge roles in the stories, they were still mostly treated with respect. But with this poor old Dr. Mann, who, even though she hasn't done anything, she's currently got her feet up on the sofa drinking tea.
Where's the bird?
Still flying over the water.
She doesn't deserve any of these sexist pigs making all these comments about her.
Now we know what causes the fires. Starr need not stay there. Tell him to go after that bird.
Wait, that wasn't the plan already?
What a life. A woman and a robot telling me what to do.
Yeah, that's bad. Woman and a robot. I dare say it would be impossible to choose which is worse. Anyway, we seem to be limping towards some kind of conclusion now.
Can you see the bird?
Yes?
Well, don't lose sight of it.
Okay, I take back what I said about the puppet's eyes not moving. Star's eyes are moving, ever so slightly.
Destroy it!
But it's not really enough to give them that life. And also that the hand insert shots that we're so familiar with in the Super Mario Nation shows, there have been half a dozen shots in this where it's a puppet hand operating the controls, and it looks so off. Oh, we're approaching...
Darrex's headquarters are here. They must be underwater.
An Arctic base, which is about as impressively realised as everything else in this show. It does have that quality that of just kids playing with their toys in the bathtub. I mean, Star's ship has just landed in the sea and is now diving underneath the iceberg to look for the secret base. And it just looks... Actually, the rocks underwater are looking okay, but the way the model is just wobbling around the place...
See, do you think...
I do. We're going up again.
Sometimes, not often, but occasionally I do think.
Part of the iceberg has melted.
Destroy the solar scope, then launch our submarine. We can't stay here any longer.
He's got 4 chins, that baddie. And he's not especially fat, he's quite thin, so what's with the chins? That's kind of disturbing. Anyway, he's about to open fire on Paul Starr, and to be fair, this is a fairly impressive rocket that the little alien puppet is launching here. But when we cut to the model shots, it's just so... None of it has any weight. It doesn't have that sort of... Yeah. Thank you, Lightning. That really just summed everything up. Yeah, it doesn't have the weight that the Meddings effect stuff does. And it's... As with a lot of these Roberta Leigh pilots, it's... We recognise what makes a particular show a success.
Keep track of the iceberg.
We're going to try and copy it, but we don't really understand why. We'll present you with the basics, but we haven't got that magic, that spark.
The Martian president wants him dead or alive.
Looks as if it'll have to be dead.
Very well. You know...
Casual indifference to human life it is, then.
If we get out of this alive, I am going to resign.
Stop talking and get ready to fire the gun.
Okay, yeah, you won't be around for any more Paul Starr adventures, which is good because there aren't going to be any more.
This solar scope is diving toward us.
Destroy it!
Stop yelling, it's the same instruction you've been giving for the last 10 minutes. Just shoot the damn thing.
10, 9, 8...
Fire! Fire, get on with it!
6, 5...
Oh god, he's still going.
2, 1, fire!
Fire, yes, thank you.
Missile done!
The set seems to be on fire. Oh! Okay, the baddie's headquarters have been hit. The baddie is just slumped backwards in his chair. His eyes just sightlessly staring up at the ceiling. Yeah, he's dead. Lots of familiar sound effects. Oh! Culminating in real-life A-bomb test footage. Always a nice thing to have in a children's show.
By the way, Lightning, do you still want to resign?
And leave Dr. Man to you? I am too much of another gentleman.
Wait. I thought you hated the idea of a woman being around. Oh, God. Who cares? Anyway, that was Paul Starr. Not an Anderson show. And thankfully not even a real show because it never got beyond the pilot. Yes. Not impressive. I think it is important to look at things like this, though, and just appreciate how good we had it with shows like Thunderbirds and Stingray, which probably, to be fair, had a lot more money thrown at them than this.
Tell him there's trouble.
But this is just... Roberta Leigh seemed to spend, like, 5 or 6 years after Space Patrol just kind of trying to find that Anderson magic and not making it. I mean, even here, this sounds so much like a cross between Supercar and Stingray. And it can journey anywhere. Oh, Edward Bishop. you have done better, my friend, and thankfully you would go on to do better. As would Anderson, but sadly, Roberta Leigh, you did not deliver the goods this week.